All right, what's poppin', party people? Thank you for joining us for another segment of Pop Talk. This is your man, Professor Nims. I'm signing on for Coach Dave, Boston Jared.
Peace.
Got a special guest this week. Your man, Fuji, your favorite fight fan. What's going on?
Yo,
And we are the pundits of pugilism. We want to make sure that you like and subscribe before we jump into this content for this week. So we're gonna start off by doing a weekend wrap up. So there was a pretty fruitful fight weekend that we just concluded with. One that was, I guess you could say, that was starring your boy Adrien Broner, but also included some star performances by Xander Zayas and also your boy Shushu Carrington. But let's go ahead and jump in on this topic of Adrien the Problem Broner. So he took on Blair the Flair Cobb last weekend, which was we're probably looking at the twilight of Adrien Broner's career at this point. This was a Don King card that he was headlining. And to me, we saw I think we saw kind of the two different things that we kind of used to. Like we saw the old Broner in the sense that it was still a fighter that is super talented, but that is still reluctant to let his hands go. And then we also saw a bit of an old Broner, and that he was a little bit older, maybe a little bit slower. He seemed to really rehydrate to almost probably about 180 pounds. So that kind of just speaks to the kind of weight that he went into training camp with. So we're actually going to start with our boy Fuji, your favorite fight fan. So kind of tell us your impressions about this fight for Adrien Broner, and based on his performance, where he was knocked down in the second round, got one of his veneers actually popped out of his mouth. Would you like to see Adrien Broner continue on in his fight career?
now this is how I feel about Adrien Broner. That's my guy. And the reason Adrien Broner is my guy, because this is how I feel about his career. I feel like the fights that he lost, he took the fights that we wanted to see, and we knew that he didn't have a good chance of winning those fights, but he took the fights anyway. And I feel like he didn't duck a lot of fights that he could have ducked and would have had a better career. That's why I respect him. Like at this point in his career, yeah, he's what it is. He just trying to be like he trying to get a couple dollars in his pocket, and I respect that too. But I also see his discipline not there because his weight, and like you said, he's still a little gun shy from he been gun shy ever since he got knocked down by Madonna. Like, so I just feel like I do want to see him fight again because I want him to put some money in his pocket and go sit down somewhere. Like that's what I want. Like I want him to get a couple fights in, even if it's some tomato cans. Get you some fights in, get you some money in your pocket and go sit down, because I feel like a lot of people don't like Broner because his attitude and the stupid stuff he say. But I also feel like that at the time he was so entertaining for boxing, we always wanted to watch, and people got to the point where they watched just to see him lose. And that's why he's hated so much, because he did stupid things like take $20 bills and throw them at Walmart registers at the people at the cashiers. But I just feel like Broner just I feel like he's not respected as he should be because of his mouth. And that's just how I feel about his career. And like right now, of course, he's like, yeah, like you said, he at the twilight. He's at the end of his career. But I just think he needs to get a couple dollars in his pocket, go sit down and maybe do something else that's involved in boxing. I want him to win though. But that's my take on it. I want him to win because even like I said, we know he can't be the notable fighter right now, but he just need to get a couple dollars in his pocket, bro, and go sit down and maybe do something else with boxing. But like I said, I just feel like he's not respected, and he took fights that we knew that he probably didn't have a good chance of winning, but he took them anyway. and talk his junk like he talk his junk, and everybody was there to see it. Like,
Well,
we
I mean, just to be clear, I believe he was favored in the Marcus Maidana fight.
He was
So
definitely favored in that Maidana fight.
it wasn't like he took
Picture
a
with
fight that
Pundits,
we all did, so he was favored to win that fight. And just to kind of clarify, so
so did y'all think
$20 bills, he actually took the $20 bills, ripped them up, and flushed them down the toilet. And then at Walmart, he got offended because the woman gave him change, and he threw the change in the air and said he don't take change and stuff. But I was like, if you are gonna not like a fighter, what reason would you have not to like a fighter? It's usually because of the attitude. Like, to me,
yeah,
I'm a little more confounded with the hate that Devin Haney gets. Like, for example, right? He's not somebody that has really like a bad attitude. Now, I think that he takes collateral damage because of his father, for example.
he
So
does.
I'm gonna let Fuji respond to that, and then I'm gonna throw it to Boston.
I just don't like. You know how I feel about that guy. I don't like him or his dad. I just feel like no lie, I don't like him or his dad before he lost. Like, I never liked him because like, to me, he too arrogant, and I always felt like he wasn't that good. Like, I always felt like it was gonna come a time somebody was gonna expose him and throwing that jab and always dropping that hand. I just felt like it was coming. And I felt like the Lomachenko fight was way closer than it should have been. Like, I felt like that probably could have been a draw to me.
Yeah, we saw that. Yeah, I mean, he does have some kind of little technical hiccups that, for somebody who was kind of being praised as a very high level boxer, that should have been addressed. But so, Boston, I mean, what say? Do you think that Broner gets an unfair kind of rap and kind of criticism, based on his boxing career?
No, I think I really personally think he has a kind of an inflated kind of boxing career. I mean, I saw a headline on Boxing Scene. It was either Bad Left Hook or Boxing Scene, and the headline was, "Is Adrien Broner the worst 4 division champ ever?" And I didn't indulge the writer with that shit. I don't personally believe in beating a dead horse and kicking the motherfucker while he's down. I didn't read it. I know enough about boxing to come to my own conclusions. But it to me it's worth exploring, right? I mean, this guy really did what's his big win, guys? Like, what is his key? What is it, Malignaggi? Is
No,
that his
I think it
his
was
win?
Antonio DeMarco. I thought that was
DeMarco was a good win at the time, but
that was at
nobody
the
even
time it was a good win. It wasn't somebody that was going to go in there and lay down. He was at his
no,
right weight,
no.
and to me, I thought that was prime Broner. And then I think even after that fight, when I'm not going to front, when he dropped
Gavin Reese.
Gavin Reese with that short right uppercut. I mean,
Yeah.
I did see some star potential, but
Man,
it's funny. Go
he
ahead.
was shrinking. He was shrinking down and beating up smaller guys, man. He was shrinking down, beating up smaller guys. And when he finally had to start fighting guys his own size, a lot of his technical flaws, guys, all that one-shot power he had at the lower weight classes, it didn't mean as much.
Well, he
I
did
mean,
drop
it's really
Porter.
what it came down to. You said what, Dave?
He dropped Porter with that hook, right?
He did drop Porter, but he was down 11 rounds to nothing at the point. But okay, fair
Yeah,
enough.
but it showed some
Dropped,
power, but it was a
It's
one
not.
shot. He dropped him
Dropped Porter.
he clipped him with that hook.
he
So
did drop Porter, but again, what did that really amount to? So maybe he did have a little bit more pop than I'm giving him credit for. But I mean, this guy, look, I'll tell you, when I hopped off the Adrien Broner bandwagon was after the Ponce de Leon fight. Remember the guy with the rat
yeah,
tail?
that was bad. I mean, but Ponce de Leon was best as a featherweight.
He was a good, and look, but to me, if Adrien Broner was the guy that he was being made out to be at that time, he'd have beaten a guy like Ponce de Leon. And Ponce de Leon beat him. I remember watching that. I think if I was on HBO,
I thought
Ponce beat him.
I thought he won.
After I saw that fight, I knew. I was like, nah, man. I said this guy, he's not that guy. Again, the direct answer to your question is no. This guy, if people hate on him and criticize him based off of his career, there's every They had every reason to do that. You can make a very, very compelling argument that this guy was always overrated and he was more famous. His notoriety derived more from his antics outside of the ring than anything he ever did inside the ring.
I want to give
the synopsis of his career.
It seems like Coach agreed with that, but I think that wasn't that the Floyd Mayweather model though? Right?
It was the Floyd Mayweather model minus the elite generational talent inside the ring.
So to me, I think you summed it up. So to me, I thought it was almost poetic when Broner got his veneer popped out in a sense, because I think that his career was a bit of a veneer that we got kind of, because like if you don't look at it closely,
it's an interesting analogy.
Like, he kind of like looks like Floyd Mayweather. Like he's got some subtle things and all that, and he used that Floyd Mayweather model. But if you really look closely at it, you can see that is Fugazi, and that
it's fool's gold. That's what it is.
He was never really that dude.
Cable. It was a Canal Street knockoff.
And I agree with that part. I feel like he did want to follow Floyd too much, like wanted to be like Floyd too much. He didn't come into his own like self. Like I do feel like that also, but I just feel like he should be respected for just taking the fights he took. Like
he took good fights. He did take good fights. And I meant to address that.
He should be credited that. So,
he did take good fights. He got a lot of chances. A lot of guys would not receive the same opportunities. And I think those chances that he got is a testament to how popular that cult following that he was able to develop and cultivate outside the ring. Because this guy's Pacquiao fight, he got a Mikey Garcia fight, he gets the Maidana fight. I mean, yeah, he got a lot of chances.
He got
Malinaja, he got the Porter fight. He was on his way to losing to Derry Jean. Remember the Haitian kid he fought? He's down in that fight until he knocks Derry Jean down in the 11th or 12th round of that fight. He'd have lost to Derry Jean if he hadn't got that knockdown.
So let me ask you.
There was never that guy, man.
Boston Jerry, let me ask
you. Go ahead, Fuji. I'm sorry.
Let me ask you a question. So if the fights that he lost, if he would have won those fights, you think things would have been.
If he had won even half of those fights, you're talking about this guy is a pay-per-view fighter today, right now. He beats Mikey Garcia or he beats Sean Porter or Jesus Christ, if he beats Manny Pacquiao, you're talking about an ATM machine. PBC is still in business or not about to go out of business if he wins any of those fights. But he never had the talent to beat them guys is what it all came down to, man. And there were other guys who were probably more deserving of those shots. I don't want to belabor the point.
That's my whole point. I feel like he took them and he could have ducked them. He didn't even have to take them fights, and we know that it was a good chance of him losing.
He also needed the money, Fuji. He was also flushing money, literally flushing money down the toilet and lighting it on fire. So did he not duck and did he take tough fights? Yeah, but did he really have the option financially? Didn't this guy file for bank? Didn't he get brought up into court for something? Delinquent child support.
We don't want to stray too far away. So let's bring in Coach. But I want to make one slight correct because I think because he didn't fight Derry John. I think you're referring to Emmanuel Taylor.
Thank you. I'm sorry. It was Crawford who fought Derry Jean. Emmanuel Taylor. Thank you.
So Coach Dave, I mean, how would you would you view Broner as somebody who ultimately, when they stepped up to that competition, was kind of exposed as somebody as a bit of a hype job, or do you think that he was just kind of at the threshold of his talents?
Well, listen, I think for me historically, I think Broner is definitely just going down as the prime story of how to keep your fighter off the wrong path. I mean, so if I was talking about Broner, I would be telling I would be telling my fighter, as you look at Broner, don't ever hit yourself to be so much like one other fighter. Establish your own. Broner lost me the minute that he had that interview where he said, man, when I lost the fight, a lot of people felt like Floyd lost the fight because I'm the closest.
Close thing to him.
No,
Yeah.
you're not. He lost me right. Like I was done. I was done. I'll be honest with you. I was done. And secondly, you know, I would be telling my fighter as you look at Broner, you know, do not get arrogant, confident, and take this sport for granted to the point to where, listen, man, your body in this sport is your weapon. Your body in this sport is your weapon. And for you to go out here and just, you know, drink it up. I ain't saying you got to never have no alcohol and stuff like that, but to just drink it up, dope it up, blow it up, you know, swell up, fuss up, puff up, you know, to play with your weapon and to let it get so dull like he did, and then only try to sharpen it whenever you're in the fight and you need to. It's just to me, that's what he's just going down as. For you know, it always be said this guy had hands. He's gonna be one of the greatest stories about the potentials and what could have been, but yet what happened. That's why I see his legacy. So I'm not gonna definitely belabor the point. I think what Jared said was cool, and I think you know, even with my man Fuji, bro, just hey, I think you can't have that bleeding heart sometimes up in this sport, baby. You know what I'm saying? You know how they might have bleeding heart liberals. Fuji up over this joke of being a bleeding heart boxing fan, bro.
Yeah.
I just feel like he should be respected, boy. Yeah, forget the antics. I just feel like he should be, even though he took fights just for the money, he should still be respected, boy.
That's reasonable. I think that's a reasonable. I think that's a reasonable position, Fuji. I'm not a huge fan of this guy, but I think that what you're saying is absolutely reasonable. It's nothing unreasonable about what you're saying.
My last thing is saying, look, hey, Adrien, the problem, Broner, the problem is solved.
and look to what Fuji was saying though. I think that there is absolutely a place in boxing for Adrien Broner.
Right.
Something like that. Yeah, absolutely.
Broner would be a hell of a promoter, and I hope they learn a little stuff from Don King. He would be this generation's Don King and would probably be a hell of a promoter if he can get the business mindset and don't let the business mindset imitate how he treated the profession of boxing.
Yeah.
Great promoter. You know, and
that's why I feel like somebody give him some fights, get some money, and let him go sit down somewhere and do something in boxing. That's how I feel.
Hey, he might be a decent commentator if he can come on there sober, but I would be hitting these gyms and looking at these up and coming fighters and who can I get up under my wing and say, listen, man, I can help you steer you the right way, what to stay out of, and then here we go.
You know? And he's from Ohio too, which is a huge.
Huge. Yes.
Kids coming out of there left and right, man, and you know, I think that like Dave said, man, he might be able to really speak to them kids when he talk. Those kids might listen to him, but he's got to make some lifestyle adjustments, man. He's got to make some lifestyle adjustments, man. For people to be taken seriously as a businessman, he's got to make some adjustments.
Man, I would go find Rashid Warren, bro, and the other kid that came out of there, and I just be going around to these gyms because the whole fight game is about to change, bro. As the Saudis do their thing, right now, I'm trying to tell you, ain't no fighters gonna be able to really duck if it come all under one umbrella. And right now, these Saudis and people, we just looking for jokers that can whoop A. And there's a lot of them in Ohio, like you said, bro. I'd be on the hunt if I was Broner.
So one last question, then we can kind of give your thoughts on this. But so Broner ended his career 35-5 with 24 KOs and 1 no contest. He's gonna go down in the record books as a 4-division world champion. Sean Porter ended his career 31-4 with 1 no contest, 17 KOs, and then he was also stopped 1 time. Sean Porter, of course, you know, beat Adrien Broner. If you had to choose one of their careers, which one would you take? And keep in mind, so like Sean Porter seems to have a thriving post-boxing kind of career, right? So he has, you know, he's got his own podcast. He's worked for Showtime and other, and like I think Fox Sports and all that. Whose career, if you had a choice, whose career would you like to walk away with? We start with
Come
you.
on, man. It's with Coach or with me?
No, Boston. You start with you.
Oh, it's Porter, man. It's a no-brainer.
Really?
Man. I don't know why. What made you ask that question? Like, I mean,
the records are similar. Porter was he was a champion at 2 divisions, or was it just one? Was it just at 147? He only has 1 less loss than Broner. He was stopped before. Broner's never been stopped. Broner
he got stopped to a
generational.
generational talent. Like, come on, Cam.
You know? Okay, I'm just
that's
saying.
about, okay, I'll keep it short and
think
sweet.
it's so. I mean, do you think any of them warrants a call from the International Boxing Hall of Fame?
Me, my personal opinion, no. They let way too many guys. The Boxing Hall of Fame is become like come one, come all at this point, man. There are way too many guys in that thing. No, Broner shouldn't be in there, and neither should Sean Porter. No, and neither should Tim Bradley. By the way, no, none of them guys.
What about you? If you had a choice, do you have Adrien Broner's career or Sean Porter's?
Of course, I'm gonna say Sean Porter because, like you said, like in the long run, I feel like he did better. Like he's still thriving and still making money in the sport, and he's still relevant in the sport. So of course, Sean Porter.
All right, and Coach, is it unanimous? Would you say that?
Yeah, yeah, man. It's unanimous. It's unanimous, man.
I just thought, I mean, like with Sean Porter, I was trying to think about his best win. And that actually, his best win might actually be, well, not, I was gonna say Adrien Broner, but he beat Danny Garcia, so maybe that'll be his best win. He beat Danny Garcia, so that.
Yeah, remember he destroyed Paulie Malignaggi too, man. I mean, he beat the brakes off of Paulie Malignaggi. I mean, just to give you
who doesn't beat the brakes off of
Adrien Broner apparently does not beat the brakes off of Paulie Malignaggi. I thought Paulie won that fight.
That was close. I mean, it was
that Sean Porter fight was not close with Paulie Malignaggi. He beat Earth, Wind, and Fire out Paulie Malignaggi, just to give you to compare and contrast those two guys. Anyway.
All right.
You want to clip this and we want to do a separate Zayas segment because this shit ran a little bit long.
They did. Yeah, but we're gonna go ahead and let Fuji, your favorite fight fan, kind of go. We appreciate you weighing in on Adrien the problem Broner. We will if he does decide to fight again, we will be calling you up and saying it because I know you're gonna be picking him to win and all those things. So.
Fight, the Fundora fight. That's my guy. I want to come back on that fight, Fundora.
Oh, most definitely.
Oh, Fundora Spence. Yeah, man. You come back anytime, man. We got plenty of room. Randy show up, every once a month, once every 6 weeks. So
yeah, Randy,
Shit, you come back.
Randy
whenever.
like a special guest now. So all right, man.
Right.
All right. Appreciate it, bro. We are signing off. All right. Make sure you like and subscribe. Peace out.
Peace.
Peace.